Have you ever seen the breathtaking beauty of snow falling over the hills of northern Israel? It's a sight to behold, a serene blanket of white covering the landscape. But don't let it fool you. A lot is happening underneath this white blanket of snow, a lot of drama. Israel is bracing for a significant conflict in the north. As tensions escalate, it's a stark reminder of the nation's ever-present threats. Since the beginning of the war, Hezbollah launched over 2,000 rockets into Israel and around 360 drones. It tried to infiltrate into Israel 7 times. Israeli troops managed to prevent it. Hamas fired nearly 12,000 rockets into Israel, targeting civilians. In Judea and Samaria, the heartland of Israel, there was more than 1,000 terrorist activities and riots. Iranian proxies fired 54 missiles towards Israel from Yemen, Iraq. So yes, a lot is happening. But here's a crazy story involving the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, aka UNRWA. Reports have emerged that UNRWA employees were involved in the horrific massacre of October 7, in which 1,200 Israelis and foreign nationals were murdered. This is insane. Reports suggest that these are the faces of the employees participated in the massacre. But first of all, get this. UNRWA employees are United Nations employees. It's crazy to think that an organization founded on the principles of peace and humanitarian aid is paying salaries to individuals accused of such heinous acts against Jews. So, several countries, rightfully so, decided to cut funds to UNRWA, including Australia, Austria, Canada, Estonia, EU, Finland, France, Germany, Iceland, Italy, Japan, Latvia, Lithuania, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Romania, Switzerland, the UK, and the United States. So UNRWA ends up losing over $700 million in funds. What does the UN chief decides to do? We're talking here about the UN. So of course he decides to do the completely wrong thing and had the audacity to ask world leaders not to cut funds to UNRWA, saying it will cause greater crisis in Gaza. How about urging UNRWA employees to refrain from terrorist activities instead? The only solution is to defund UNRWA completely. I'll explain why. The issue with UNRWA runs deeper than its terror ties with Hamas. UNRWA operates an education system in Gaza. There is evidence of them teaching anti-Semitic content in schools. Instead of educating for peace, they educate for war. All backed by the UN money.
Many of the Palestinians who murdered Israelis were educated in schools run by UNRWA. Children are taught in UNRWA Palestinian schools to hate Jews, who are described in their textbooks as snakes and wolves.
And even more than that, the UN already has a refugee agency, UNHCR, which handles refugees from all over the world, except for Palestinians. For them, and only for them, the UN established UNRWA. All refugees in the world who are handled by UNHCR lose their refugee status when they are accepted in a new country. The Palestinian refugees who are treated by UNRWA are the only ones who not only have their refugee status eternal, but it is inherited. Their children are also automatically refugees. So UNRWA never solves the Palestinian refugee problem, but sustains it. The US government, a major funder of UNRWA, of course after Biden resumed funding when Trump cut it, plays a crucial role in its future. The outcome of the upcoming US presidential election could significantly impact UNRWA's future. I personally, to be honest, hope that UNRWA will shut down. I hope that you agree with me. Let me know in the comments section. But shifting quickly to the Texas border with the illegal migration crisis in America, it is estimated that millions have entered the United States illegally. This is a major security problem. That reminds me of Israel's illegal migration crisis from Africa. Israel solved the problem very quickly in 2013 by building a smart barrier with technology that stopped the illegal immigration from tens of thousands to zero. The situation in Texas underscores the need for secure borders to maintain America's sovereignty and safety. But guess who decided to call out on America to keep human rights? Yes, the Iran-backed Houthi government in Yemen. I don't know whether this is a joke or not, but yes, the same Houthis that starved to death millions of Yemeni people, the same Houthis that launched missiles on civilian ships in the Red Sea, the same Houthis that train to slaughter human beings. I mean, their flag literally says God is great, death to America, death to Israel, curse on the Jews, victory to Islam. So what human rights are we talking about here? Finally, the recent Iranian drone strike in Jordan, which tragically killed 3 U.S. personnel from Fort Moore in Georgia, has prompted the Biden administration to promise a strong retaliation against Iran. This is a major development in the Middle East. Iran's regime directly attacked the United States, killing U.S. soldiers. So, to sum everything up, to sum the recent years up, the billions of dollars that the US gave Iran did not help. The diplomatic route did not help. The only language that the Islamic regime in Iran understands is power, and lots of it. Look, I'm not in favor of war and conflict. I strongly oppose it. But if we want true peace in the Middle East, radicals must be uprooted and destroyed. Sometimes, if you want peace, you need to prepare for war. In these challenging times, let's remember to pray for peace. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.